Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here. Welcome back to the railway and welcome back to Sam's Trains Live. It is awesome to be back for another Sunday live stream, and of course this particular series is going on weekly, every single Sunday at 2 PM. So if you're not watching live, or if you'd like to know when the next one is, that's when. Anyway, welcome. I hope you're all doing okay. It is fantastic to be back. I've got a lot going on today. I'm going to be unboxing some brand new Great Northern coaches, which should be a lot of fun. Obviously, I've got lots of trains to run as well. I'm going to be doing shout outs, so if you want a shout out, jump in the chat and I will do that for you. And I'm also going to be talking to you folks as well as showing your artwork. So lots to get on with today. As always, I am going to be taking requests during today's stream, so if you'd like to support the channel, you can donate using the super chat icon. £5 or the equivalent, and you can pick whatever loco and rolling stock you'd like for your 5 minutes of fame. And as you can see, I've got a few of these set up already. And if you do decide to support the channel with a super chat, I just want to say thank you so much for the support, because you really help to keep the channel afloat by doing that, and you also help to ensure that I can keep doing what I absolutely love to do for a living, and for that I am so grateful. So thank you very much. Also, if there are any birthdays in the house around this time, you can super chat for any amount and I will play the horrific birthday song for you. But for now, it's been a week since I talked to you all. How is everybody doing? I hope you're all okay. We've got New Railway here, Lewis Taylor, Jay the Cat. I've got a request for you coming up, I happen to remember. The Tired Goose is here as well. Shout out to you. I'm sorry to hear that you are tired, Mr. Goose. Hopefully you can relax a little bit during this stream and get some of your goose energy back. That would be nice. Kelly Ashford Trains, thank you very much, Kelly. Can you run Torquay Manor and City of Truro with some coaches of your choice? I certainly can do, Kelly, and thank you so much for your support there. Looks like we've got Sam After Dark. What's this? What's this? After Dark? It ain't dark up here, man. I tell you, it's bright with all the lights on, and it's not dark outside either. Good afternoon, Harassed Civil Servant. Again, that sounds like a travesty. I'm sorry to hear that you've been so harassed. There's a lot of people in the chat in distress today. I'm sorry about all that. Sonny's Railway, hello to you. I'm glad to hear you're doing okay. Happy Sunday, everybody, says Cameron Bradley. That is a good point. Happy Sunday. And happy anniversary to the Titfield Thunderbolt, says Joshua W56. That's true. I think it's 70 years today, isn't it? Or around this sort of time. That's pretty awesome. If only we had a commemorative set to celebrate it with. That'd be nice. Any ideas, Hornby? I mean, Rapido? I don't know. Anyway, let's not get into that. By the way, next week I'm going to be doing a Q&A on the live stream. So if you've got any questions you know you'd like to ask, you can send them to me via email. My email is samstrains@outlook.com. It can be about absolutely anything you like. You can also submit questions live during the stream in the chat, but obviously because the chat goes so quick, I do tend to miss people. So if you don't want to get missed out and you've got a good question, email it to me and I'll be using the best ones on next week's stream. So yeah, come up with some questions if you'd like to. Right, let's do some requests then. Let's get some trains running. So we have a request on the inside line from Ridiculous Railways, who wanted to see the new Sonic Models A5 with some teak coaches, so I've got that set up. We've got Hypercat72, who wanted the LMS Garrett, the Southern Pacific Daylight, John Bull, a rail cannon, an egg van, a Bullman, and a random coach. Now, unfortunately, the Southern Pacific Daylight and the John Bull don't have compatible couplings with the rest of the stuff, nor do they have front couplings, so I've had to miss those off for simplicity's sake. But there's still a lot of dodgy stuff on this train, so if you're after a derailment, Hypercat 72, you might get your wish. And then William Babcock wanted to see the standard class 3 tank, the Dapple Large Prairie, some private open wagons and a towed brake van. So I've got that going on the outside line for you. So thank you for all the awesome requests. Keep them coming in. They are first come, first served. But any that we don't have time to show today will be done on next week's stream. So you don't have long to wait. Bullman's uncoupled and nobody gets missed out. It's just a matter of when you get it. All right, go on, off you go, please. I can tell that train is going to be a lot of fun. Is it even on the track right? I'm not sure. Let's keep an eye on it because there's a good chance it's going to go wrong. Yep, already it has. I'll tell you what the problem is, really. It's the coupling hooks on these awful dapple egg vans. They just mess around, and half of them have dropped off. This one's dropped off, in fact, so we're just relying on Bullman's coupling hook. And if there's anything you should know about Bullman is that you can't rely on his coupling hook. Go on then, Garrett, off you go. I've given the Garrett power and it's stuck as well. I think, I'll be honest, the chances of this train getting around the track in one piece are slim. Slim to none. Hang on, we've got some strange stuff going on there. Oh, for goodness sake. Ugh. I've noticed some of the cameras are mixed up as well, which is annoying because that happened last week. Right, I'm getting annoyed with this now. I think we'll try it once more. Let's go a bit faster. I don't know. I think we might be there now. Let's see. Is it all still coupled? No, of course not. Right, sorry folks, the rest of the railgun and the egg van's going to have to come off because it's cheesed me off now. There we go. Farewell. I think something else might have gone wrong as well there. Yep, it has. That would be the Garrett. So that's a complete dead loss. How I hate that locomotive. Helgen, everybody. Right, let's get that off. Bin that thing later on, honestly. Right, there we go. Apologies. Who was it? Was it Jay the Cat? No, Hypercat72. Apologies. Yes. I suppose you might have gotten your wish on that, though. I suspect you might have chosen all that stuff with derailments in mind. So maybe that wasn't a dead loss. I don't know. But everything else seems to be working properly. So we've got the double header there with the freight wagons looking pretty good. Yeah, can't complain on that. Where are we? And there we go, we've got the Sonic Models A5, which does work quite nicely. I've discovered it's not very good on points, that one. Not a very well balanced loco particularly, but on track without points, it's fine. And NG5, thank you so much. You'd like to see the LNER W1 with one coach from each company. That's interesting. Yeah, I could totally do that. Thank you very much. All right. Disappearing underneath the bookcase. We'll just finish this lap and then we'll get on to the unboxing, which I'm really, really excited about. I know a little bit more about it. I've not given anything away so far, but yeah, quite impressive stuff. I'm looking forward to showing those to you. But that can come all in good time. We'll just wait for these to finish. See, this stuff's working really, really nicely. Pleased with this. There it goes. Landon Spain, thank you so much. Do you think you could run the Baldwin 460 with the Disneyland coaches? It kind of reminds me of a tourist line we have here known as the Tweetsy Railroad. Yes, I'm familiar with that. Seen quite a few videos from there. I would really love to go one day. It's is that the one where you go past like a Wild West fight scene on the way by on the train? Something like that. But yeah, it looks wonderful. I'm familiar with that. So yeah, sure, I can totally do that. Yeah. And hopefully I'll go one day and maybe even get it on video. That'd be nice. Whoa. Some odd noises coming from one of these locos. Not sure which. But there we go. So thank you so much for those requests, folks. Really appreciate it. Right, let's talk about this unboxing then. So, they are Hatton's Genesis coaches, and of course I have done reviews on Hatton's Genesis coaches before, but these are a brand new release. They are the Great Northern Teak version of the Hatton's Genesis coaches, and of course there's loads of Great Northern locos available in Model 4. There's tons of them, and so I've never really had any proper Great Northern coaches to run with any of these locos until now. So this stream marks the first time I will have some proper Great Northern rolling stock for my gorgeous Great Northern passenger locos. So here's how it went. I hope you enjoy. So I picked out these Genesis coaches individually. I didn't buy them in a pack or anything. So these were £33 a piece. If you bought the pack, you would obviously get them a little bit cheaper, but there's less choice. So like I say, I've got 4 here in the brand new Great Northern Teak livery. I've got 2 6-wheel coaches and 2 4-wheel coaches. One of the 6-wheelers is a brake. I'm going to stop talking. Let's start taking a look at these. So we'll start with this one. This is a 4-wheeler, and if I show you the end of the box, it's H4-4T-201A, and this is a 4-wheel third 1432 in Great Northern lined teak. Let's have a look at this. So I'm expecting the coaches themselves to be largely the same as the Genesis coaches I've looked at before in terms of detail. So I will briefly just show you the instructions. There you go. So that's just a little bit about removing the roof, fitting DCC if you've got lighting, and removing the centre wheel set. That's all very basic. And I'm expecting all of the accessories to be the same as this. So this is just an alternative footboard if that's what you want to fit. Right, let's have a look at the coach then. I'm mostly interested in the livery because that's the only part of these coaches I haven't seen yet. The Great Northern. Oh, wow. All right, let's pull this out. Look at this. Right, this has become my favourite Genesis coach range so far. This teak livery, the wood effect, is absolutely tremendous. Wow. We'll have a bit of a closer look at this livery in a second, see how it looks up close. But from a distance like this, it looks marvellous. And the lining and the print work, also tremendous. That is awesome. All right, let's move on. Let's have a look at another coach. Let's have a look at a 6-wheeler. So show the end of the box. So this one is the 6-wheel third, number 3275, again in the Great Northern lined teak. Let's pull this one out. So we should have even more lovely teakiness on this one because it's got a much larger body. So same accessories, just a slightly longer version of the footboard. Let's pull this one out. Oh man, I love this teak livery, and it's got quite a bit of variation in it. You can see in the middle of this one there's sort of a darker section there which looks really nice. Yeah, what an excellent bit of detail that livery adds. The rest of the detailing is, of course, identical to the other Genesis coaches that I've looked at. But yeah, just again, I say this quite a lot, but it's amazing what a change in livery can do to a model. It looks totally different from the LNWR and the SECR ones I've looked at completely. Right, this is another 6-wheeler. It is a brake third this time, number 145. Yep, you guessed it, in the Great Northern lined teak. Let's have another look. Right, same paperwork, same accessories. Let's have a look at this. There should be a bit of variation in this one with it being a brake. I want to see how the ducket looks. Here we go. Ah yes, looks excellent. And that ducket, I suppose, is a separately fitted piece, and yet it's still been decorated really nicely. Yeah, look at that. Great finish on those as well. Quite satin. Yeah, not plasticky looking by any means. All right, that's coach the third then. So we've got one more. Let's have a look at this one. We're back to 4-wheel again. Let me show you this. So yeah, it's a 4-wheel first class this time. So this is the posh one. Number 235 in the Great Northern lined teak. At last, some decent Great Northern coaches to run with my Great Northern locos. And we're going to go back live in a second or two, and I'm going to show you them running. But let's have a look at this one first. Oh yeah, first class. They truly are first class, aren't they? Yeah, look at that. Gorgeous livery. So you've seen the detail so far on the Genesis coaches. If you haven't seen those videos, then check them out. I go into all the detail that you need. However, we haven't looked at this livery up close yet, so let's do a little bit of that, and then of course we'll see how they run. So there you have it, folks, a closer look at the Hattons Genesis 6-wheel third class Great Northern coach. And yeah, the detail, the quality is very much the same as before. If we take a closer look at the teak finish, you can see perhaps it does look a little bit grainy up close, but it's definitely better than some of the body wraps that we've seen from other manufacturers. I would say the quality of the printing here is generally quite a bit higher. Noticeably though, it is only the teak effect that seems to have been sort of printed onto the body in this way. it looks as though the lining and the various other print work has been tampo printed, or printed in the more usual way. So there is certainly no graininess on any of these. You've got the Great Northern lettering, looks clear as crystal really. Third class lettering on the doors, and of course the highest quality print would be the Great Northern sort of crest, which is printed onto each of the doors there. Yeah, high quality print work indeed. You've even got little smoking signs on the relevant windows. That's cool to see. And then on the ends of the coach, you can see we've got more lining on the panelling, which again just brings out those details. And each of them is like this. Each of them has incredibly high quality print work. They all look fantastic. What I really want to see now is all of them together on the track behind a suitable Great Northern locomotive. And to do that, we're going to go back live with one requester who happily happened to request this very thing just last week. So there you have it. There is a close look at the Great Northern flavour of the Hattons Genesis coaches, and I've got them set up on the track, and you're going to see those run in just a second. I also want to say thank you so much for all of the super chatters that has been coming through. I haven't read out very many of them, but during that I was reading them. So the latest ones came from Harry Chapman. Thank you so much to you. A2020 Vision. There was another as well. NG5. Yeah, thank you very much to you. And everybody else, I have been reading them, and you will get your requests. But we need to get these Hattons Genesis coaches up and running now. So they are on the middle line, as you can see. And this was requested. We have Air Knight, who wanted to see the C1 Atlantic, which is of course in a Great Northern green livery, with a rake of Genesis coaches. So perfect. How absolutely perfect. The maiden voyage is going to be right here and now on the live streams, and I haven't tested these. This is literally the first time these have been on the track, and they're going to make their first lap right now. So if anything happens, it's going to happen live on camera. We've also got Jonathan Kent on the inside line. Well, it's not Jonathan, it's Jonathan's choice of loco. That would be odd otherwise. But it's the Great Central D11 with my choice of coaches. So we've got some great, LNER coaches. There we go. And then on the outside line, we have a request from Chloe's Trains, who wanted to see the, what is it now, Hall class, the Bachmann Weathered Hall class, with some Great Western coaches, which apparently are some of her favourites. So we'll get everything else started first, we'll let it clear out the way, and then we'll get cracking with the Great Northern coaches. And we'll get them to run for their first ever time. Looking forward to this. Right, the stage is yours, Atlantic. Let's go. And we'll follow them round, make sure they work properly. Hopefully they do. Oh man, they do look good, don't they? And it's kind of the right sort of loco as well. I guess the Atlantics were towards the end of this sort of era, weren't they? I think normally you would have slightly smaller, slightly older locos hauling the 4 and 6 wheelers. But yeah, I think there are less suitable locos, aren't they? Definitely. That's awesome. Yeah, they look good, I must say. And they seem to be handling themselves nicely. We'll see how they get on down Gordon's Hill, and once they've completed the lap, I'll be 100% happy with them, which is very, very good. Alright, let's do some shout outs. Let's have a look at the chat, see how everyone's getting on. J&W Studios, nice to see you. Hope you're doing okay. There they go, down Gordon's Hill. Yeah, looking good. Handling the curves okay. Still okay? Yeah, looks good. Oh, that's marvellous then. So perfect. I've got some great Northern coaches. Afternoon L8T Trains, or that's weird because you've capitalised the T, but it's LH Trains. Sorry, not your fault, definitely mine. Aggie wants 69 likes, please. Yeah, let's try and get the stream up to 69 likes. That would be really nice, wouldn't it? Richard Sweeney, oddly, I would say it almost looks like a crack lure, in the varnish over the teak panels. I'm not sure what that is when the varnish gets old. Crack lure? A crack, maybe? I don't know. Sodor156, there's a shout out to you. Sam Haslam, yeah, you can have a shout out as well, no problem. What is the request challenge for this stream? Oh yes, I will reveal that to you. I might have forgotten to mention that. Could you run the P2 and the Flying Scotsman, both LNER green, with all the teaks and some Pullmans at 70% speed or an express speed? Yeah, I sure can. Thank you very much, TMD RNM. So I am going to be, I forgot to mention this actually, that was silly. I'm going to be giving away this. It's one of my own yellow tankers. Let's get it in focus. And I'm going to give this to the requester who comes up with the most interesting request featuring a tanker. So I'm sorry that you don't have quite as long, but yeah, I'll be choosing a winner at the end of the stream, or choosing my favourite request featuring a tanker, and yeah, I'll be sending one of these to you. This is like an assembled version. You'll get yours brand new with all the detail in an accessories bag for you to fit yourself. But yeah, that's my latest members wagon. It's going out to members, and it's also going out to one non-member today, of course, so it's quite an exclusive. NG5 wants a Three Stooges request. Man, what is that going to involve? Okay, well, it's an 8F pulling a 1361 on a flat car, an egg van, and my dumbest looking brake van. Right, we're gonna have to look to the chat for that one. What would you say is my dumbest looking brake van? I don't know. Maybe the dance hall is kind of. It's not really dumb looking though, is it? It's just odd looking. I don't know. I'm disappointed at the lack of Great Western Genesis coaches, says William Town. Well, William, do not be disheartened, because I do have a request from you. I saw it earlier on. You wanted the 14XX with the Great Western Genesis coaches, so your disappointment should be quashed quite soon, hopefully. Lion with Mark 4s, says Yellow Lime. Yeah, I've got lots of requests still left over from last week, which you're going to see shortly, so yeah, don't worry about that. Alright, well, let's have one last lap with some of this stuff then, and then we'll move on. Let's have a look. Let's get this lot coming past. There we go, lovely Hall class. Weathered. It looks pretty good, that does. With those lovely Great Western coaches. We're kind of being sarcastic with that because they're old and crummy Great Western coaches, basically. Yeah, not exactly that impressive. But they're fine, they're fine. They're some of the best I've got, which isn't saying much, but there you go. I got a reply to my A5 comment I don't understand. Well, let us know, Kelly. What was it? Might have just been someone being silly. I'm not sure. While I wait, let's bring these to a stop. So yeah, quite pleased then with the Great Northern coaches. They've worked out beautifully. There we go. Yeah, really, really happy with those. And not bad for the money, really. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, like 132 quid for all 4 of those. Not bad really, given the level of detail, and when you'd actually have to pay a lot more than that to get 4 of the Hornby ones, which are obviously not as detailed. So overall, yeah, I think that's a really good turnout. And there we go, there's the Hall class. So they're all back, present and correct. So what did you reckon to that lot, folks? Yeah, let me know. What do you think of the Great Northern coaches? Are they any good? Have you tried them yourself? They've been out for a little while yet. I had them in my trunk for a while. It's a few weeks, so you might already have some already. MLP TNF, shout out to you. There you go, no problem. The Rolling Peanut, yeah, you too can have a shout out. XRCon 42. Thank you very much, XRCon. How about a 72XX with a train of tankers and a towed brake van? A tank with tankers, if you will. Now that is quite creative. Yeah, that's an interesting one. That's in the running, I think. Air Knight wants to see the Oxford Rail Janus Shunter with the Silver Bullet. Now that's an interesting tanker. Yeah, I like that as well. And a brake van. Also, great to see last week's request today. Oh, no problem. I hope you... Have you seen it already? Did we already do it? I don't know if we did it or not. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was the C1. So it was actually the sort of star request of the day. But yeah, thank you very much for that. The Silver Bullet, that is the tanker of all tankers, actually. I forgot about that one. So that's a good one. David Mattox, sorry, I actually like the dance halls. Yeah, I like the dance halls. Yeah, it's a nice looking brake van. I don't think it's dumb looking, really. It's just odd looking, isn't it? Vincent too loves the train. That's very good. William Town says, no, those Great Northern coaches are not my thing. Well, that's fair enough. They don't have to be for everybody. J&W has almost 20 subscribers. That is awesome. So yeah, jump over to J&W's channel and see if you can give them a bit of a boost. NG5, today's challenge, the LNER W1 and the LMS 10,000, pulling the yellow tanker, gunpowder vans, the railgun and a brake van. A dangerous military train. Yes, it certainly would be, particularly if the yellow tanker was full of fuel or something. Natalie J. Bamforth, thank you so much for your support. Shout out, please. That's a shout out for you. And Jay the Cat, thank you very much, Jay. Sam, for the challenge, please can you run the Oxford Warwell with the tank and some tankers and a locomotive of your choice. That's very cool. Thank you very much, Jay. I do like these tanker requests. It's awesome having these little challenges because it just makes the request slightly different every time, which is great. All right, well, thank you very much for those folks. I'm going to go ahead and set up some more trains to run. And so I'll be back shortly, short break. You get some refreshments or something and I'll see you in just a second. All right, cheers, folks. Okay, folks, I am back. Welcome back to Sam's Trains Live. I hope you're all enjoying the stream so far. And if you've only just joined, an extra special welcome to you. Don't forget, today I am giving away this yellow tanker, which is 3D printed right here in this room, to the request that features the most, well, to the requester who makes a request featuring a tanker. And I'm going to give it to the most interesting tanker themed request. And we've had quite a few already, so keep those coming, and thank you in advance for the support. Right, let's do a few more shout-outs now that we are back. How is everybody doing? The oldest brake van is the one with the working brake, that's true. James Spinks, that's a good point. Yeah, there's a brake van that I 3D printed that had like a solenoid-powered working brake. Now that is an odd brake van, that's true. Yeah, I think that's probably it then. Again, dumb though, dumbest looking, don't know. But it's definitely odder than the dance hall, isn't it? NG5 says sometimes when Sam comes back, it's so abrupt, it's like he jump scares us. Really? Well, maybe I should put like a Sam warning before I appear back on the screen. Sorry about that. Jane W Studios, hey Sam, for today's challenge, could you please run the Tango? Oh, I don't know about that. With some explosive tankers, not being careful, if you know what I mean. Okay, maybe it'll take the tanker with it, the Tango rather. Tango, tanker, this is tricky to speak about. It's really not the best. Hi Jasper and Willow, and also hi Chloe. Let's see if we can get a wave from Chloe. How wonderful. You see, we've collaborated on a live stream now. Hello people, says Cheetah Gamers, hello to you as well. A2020 Vision, do you have any American tanker cars? I don't think so. I might have ordered one, but I haven't reviewed it yet. It might still be in its box. I'm not sure about that though. But that's true. They are quite large, aren't they, some of them? That might be interesting to look at. Graham C, hello to you as well. I'm glad you love the videos. Thank you very much. Eggy Eats Trains. Hi Sam, could you do the J94 and the B2 Peckett? I love those two locos, particularly the B2. Pulling the ocean wagons, a varying set of tankers on a Warwell. Okay, no, sorry, a Warwell, not on a Warwell. No, this is confusing now. A Warwell on a Warwell, and the Queen Mary and towed brake van. Okay, well, that's definitely very, very interesting. Thank you so much, Eggy Eat. Good one, James Spinks, says Cape Cod Steve. That's true, Cape Cod Steve. It was a good thought from Mr. Spinks. Jonathan Barnes, thank you so much. An O-gauge request. He wants to see an O-gauge 08 shunter with a flat wagon with my yellow tanker on it and a brake van on the back. Now that's an interesting one. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Apparently Yellow Lime says the Railroad Scotsman is enough. A waste of money. I guess, are we talking about the Railways versus Railroad Scotsman? I wouldn't necessarily agree that the if this is indeed what's being discussed, that the Railways A1s and A3s are a waste of money. They are an awful lot more expensive. They may not be so good value, but I would say they are better, particularly now that they've had the upgrades in terms of the die-cast running plate and the extra finish detail and the firebox light. I do think they are quite a lot better now because of that. But obviously, you know, 200 quid or above or whatever, so a bit more expensive. We've got some Chloe comments here. Cape Cod Steve says, Chloe. I saw William Town saying, has Chloe moved in? If only I could have an extra set of hands every day. But no, sadly not. NG5 says, got another simple request. Thank you very much, NG5. Backman James with 2 ocean wagons, 1 box fan, the yellow tanker, and Toad the brake van. That is no problem at all. Yeah, should be able to do that. And it also features a yellow tanker. So thank you very much, NG5. And Kelly Ashford just popped in there. A new 040 E2 TE is in my collection. Phantom, is that the name? Phantom the E2. That sounds like Thomas's evil brother or cousin. Don't know. Is that the plan, Chloe? I've done that before off camera, and now I've done it on camera. Kelly, sorry about that. Right, let's move on from that. Let's do some Wall of Fame. So if you'd like to have a picture put up on the Wall of Train or the Wall of Fame, you can email it to me at samstrains@outlook.com. As long as you've taken it yourself, it can be of your layout, it could be of trains in real life. It could be some sort of artwork that you've produced, but if you send it to me, I'll show it on stream, and then it will be a part of this room forever. So samstrains@outlook.com is my email address. Send it there if you'd like to. Right, the first one comes from Athena behind the lens. Why have we got this slow fade again? Just change that back. Let's go in a bit closer with this. So there we go. Lovely looking, looks like an electric maybe? I'm not entirely sure. I think so. Recognise it, but also don't. I'm a bit of, normally it's a loss without the numbers on display. But no, Athena behind the lens, thank you so much for that. And if anyone recognises the logo, pop it down in the chat for me. All right, let's have a look at this one. So this looks like the start of a new layout from Jason W. And I believe Jason was asking for some advice on where to go next and how best to proceed. So if you've got any tips, besides build a baseboard, I've heard those tips too often, but I suppose that is a tip, yeah, if you want to get off the floor. You could put it on a baseboard if you wanted to. But yeah, if you've got any tips for Jason, pop them in the chat, and I'm sure he would be most appreciative. My tip would be just do whatever you enjoy. Have a look, see what's out there, and figure out what you could add to your model railway that you would enjoy. Maybe you could turn it into something. It could be a quarry, it could be an express passenger route, it could be a branch line. See what you fancy. Then we've got this one from Sebi, or Sebi, I'm not entirely sure, S-E-B-I, we'll just spell it out, on what looks like an LMYR, is that a class 5 or something? It looks like Sebi managed to get inside the cab, which is absolutely awesome. I don't think I've ever done that with the class 5. So thank you so much for the awesome photo, and wherever that was, I think that's at York, by the looks of things. You can see the Stirling single in the background. So is that York? Either way, I hope you had a good time wherever you went. And then Vincent B sent in this one. This is a gorgeous bit of photography here. I don't quite recognise the logo, but there it is, trundling through some absolutely gorgeous scenery there. So yeah, that's a truly nice one to look at. I'm going to be looking out for that one when it's up on the wall. So thank you very much. Again, if you'd like to have something put up on the wall, just send it to me via email and I will show it on the next stream. For now though, let's get some more trains running. I'm going to be running this lot next. So we have William Soutar 506 who wanted to see the Blue Flying Scotsman with some Warwells and TT locos inside them. Now these TT locos, they're quite delicate and they're obviously quite expensive. I'm not convinced they would stay on a Warwell wagon if I balanced them on. So I've put them into 2 mega boxes instead, and they'll go on their little rail tour like that. So hopefully that's okay for you, William Soutar. XR 42 wanted to see the Flying Scotsman with Gordon with some Mark 1s and 2s. So that's absolutely fine. Thank you so much, XR 42. And then Sideways 66779 wanted to see, very simply, the Wickham trolley. And I always love it when people request the Wickham trolley because it's just so easy to set up. You know, I don't have to run around looking for things. It's just grab the Wickham trolley, stick it on the track, and there it goes. All I have to hope now is that it's going to work, but we'll see. So here we go. Let's get everything up and running. Gordon and Scotsman, brothers in arms. No, brothers in failure because the tenders come off. See if we can get that back on. Hopefully that will stay on. And no, something else is off. It's going to be one of those round, folks. Let's have a look. Uh-oh. My poor TT locos. Ah, these awful mega boxes, man. Is this a Dapol one? I've noticed the Backman ones stay on the track. The Dapol ones don't. which sort of figures, doesn't it? But yeah, we'll try that again. Please keep an eye, folks. If you see something going wrong again, let me know, because I do not want those TT locos destroyed. Mitchell Cole, thank you so much, Mitchell. He says no request. Well, that's okay. If you want a request, you can. What would be your suggestion for repairing a coupling rod that has buckled and broken from running around a second radius curve? Oh, I'm not sure. Depends how bad it is. If you can get a 2.5mm nut spinner, you should be able to take it off and possibly straighten it out a little bit. If it's beyond repair, your only option is to, I guess, try and find a replacement one. If it's Hornby or Bachmann, you have a chance of getting one, because they do have, sort of stock some spares. Otherwise, you could try and 3D print a new one, but it's going to be difficult to get it perfect. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Hopefully, you'll be able to sort that though. Keep me posted. NG5 has been an engineer for a year. Wow. Thank you very much, NG5, for your support, and thank you for still being here after a year. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, we're okay. I'm just going to stop these. Oh, that is a very sad thing indeed. Beautiful TT Scotsman flipped over on its side. I think it should be okay, though. It didn't come out. Right, that's the last lap with these, then, because I don't want to mess around too much with these TT locos. Don't really want to destroy my first two TT locos immediately after getting them. But yeah, I guess I'm just glad I didn't put them on the war wells, because if they'd have dropped off those, it could have been even worse. Yeah, I don't know why they keep derailing though. These mega boxes are troublesome. Not really sure if I've got Dapol or Bachmann ones on here. There might not even be Dapol ones. I think one of them is. Not sure. Anyway, let's carry on, finish the lap, and then we'll pop those off. There we go. Doesn't sound like it's on properly even now. No, it isn't. Let's fix that. That was annoying, wasn't it? Oh, I don't like that. I normally don't mind derailments too much on live streams, but it's scary when there are other locos involved. Lots of them, in fact. Anyway, never mind. Harold Harrelson, that's a marvellous name, isn't it? Thank you very much. I have a very cool request. You should run a radial tank with 2 tankers, I see what you did there, and a coach in the middle so the passengers get an amazing smell. Now that's an idea. I could perhaps open up one of the tankers so that the fumes come out and really give the passengers a good smell. Now, that's not a bad idea. Thank you very much, Harold. That's much appreciated. Thanks for the support. And we've got another couple of engines ground to a halt now. Well, what's going on here? Let's see. Well, surprise, surprise, it's not the Triang one to blame. That one's still going strong. I think it's Gordon's tender again. That's come off the track. Blimey, not doing very well, is it? Right, one last lap for those then. And I'll stop the Wickham trolley at the front. Let's see how they get on. Dear oh dear. Not a particularly successful round, was it, that one? Oh dear. A slightly feigned laugh from Sam'sTrains there, with gritted teeth. Okay. Well, hopefully these two will be able to finish this lap unscathed. Maybe I've tempted fate by saying that, maybe not, we'll see. I think we should be okay with that now. There they go. So generally, they're working together quite nicely. Well, they are now anyway. Don't know why Gordon's tender was coming off. It's funny because the Bachmann Gordon's tender is a nightmare as well. That one comes off at every verse end. I don't know why. Very strange. Anyway, let's bring those to a stop. Thank you so much, folks, and there are still more requests to come, so stay tuned for those. In fact, speaking of requests, there's still quite a lot left over from last week's stream, so if you've been patiently waiting to see your request from last week, I'm sorry for the delay, but here they come right now. So thank you again, here they come. The first request comes from On the Mainline, who wanted the most ridiculous abomination of a train I can think of. Now, there are lots of different models that fit that description, but for me, none fit it quite as perfectly as Circle, the demon, I can't remember what I called it, the death demon engine or something like that, the diseased caterpillar. insert any synonym for things that are horrid. So there you go, on the midline, that is Circle with some open wagons snaking along like the poisonous caterpillar that she is. I would say I hope you enjoyed your request, but I think that's unlikely, so I will say instead I hope you are satisfied with your request, and thank you very much for your support on the main line. Then the Westerner wanted to see the Acura Scale Class 92 with some wagons and the Dapple Class 59 at the rear. So there they go. The two locos seem to be reasonably well matched in speed, so they're not fighting each other too much. And of course they are two relatively new locos as well, not necessarily from the same era quite, not far off, but certainly both brand new models. So the Westerner, bless you for your support. I hope you like seeing those two. Next up, J&W Studios wanted to see a ghost train at night chasing another engine backwards, disappearing into the fog. Yes, let's just make the other engine go backwards. I forgot about that bit. Okay, so to fulfill this request, I next need to instigate the chase. Begin the chase. The chase has concluded. And now I believe we have to wait for them to disappear into the fog. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any fog up here, but I do have that cabinet. Goodbye, ghost engine, and goodbye, non-ghost engine. Up next is a request from Sam'sTrains, who wanted to see either a loco with no body or a Thomas with a creepy face. And this was actually the mysterious request winner from last week's stream, so congratulations, Jack. I've gone with the Thomas with the creepy face, of course, the grey Thomas face, which is very odd looking, I suppose. And I hope you thought that was mysterious enough for you. It is pretty mysterious, and of course this is the E2, not actual Thomas, so that even adds to the mystery, I think. Jay the Cat made a much less mysterious request, but still a very valid one. This is a Bachmann Class 25 with some coke wagons. I've seen the coke wagons a couple of times today already. Not something I've used very much since I bought them. I was very pleased with these coke wagons when I first did the review, and I've not really used them since. So I need to think of a few more excuses to use them a bit more. And Jay the Cat, thank you for coming up with one of those excuses. So thank you for the support, Jay the Cat. Godzilla Boy 2004, this was a really cool one, I love this. Wanted to see a Pullman Express with a pre-grouping loco, a Big 4 loco and a diesel. So I've gone with shunters. We've got the P-Class for the pre-grouping, the J50 for the Big 4 and the Bachmann 03 for the BR diesel. Hopefully that's a good interpretation of your request, Godzilla Boy 2004. So to you, Jay the Cat and Sam'sTrains, thank you so much for those fantastic requests, as always. The next request comes from Sideways66779, who wanted to see Percy with a Coca-Cola wagon, some present wagons and also a Queen Mary brake van. So thank you very much, 66779. Hopefully all this stuff is going to work as it runs. Bit of an issue with that Coca-Cola wagon and the Queen Mary brake, but we can get it to go for a little while. So there we go. Thank you, Sideways. Beaglington on Sea wanted to see Busy Bee James with some egg vans, a Coke Lomac, a railgun and a brake coach. I've managed to do it exactly apart from the brake coach because the back coupling on my railgun is broken. In fact, the whole railgun's getting a bit tatty really. But yeah, hopefully that is close enough for you. Thank you so much, Beaglington. And then Yellow Lime wanted to see Lion with some Mark IVs. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any Mark IVs, but I have been doing quite a bit of development on the Hornby sort of Era 1 coupling systems to try and get around the fact that they've used a non-standard coupling design, very sillily. And yeah, as you can see, progress is being made. Stay tuned to the channel, you'll see a lot more on this later on. But Sideways 66779, Beaglington on Sea and Yellow Lime, thank you so much for your support and your awesome requests. And finally, for now, we have Jay the Cat, who asked for a very interesting request. As you can see, there is a gunpowder van sitting on the track, and Jay the Cat's request was to see Bullman crash into it. So I have Bullman here. Are you ready, Bullman? Woo! Well, I know no one has died so far, but there's always a first, and I'm hungry for burgers. 3, 2, 1, here we go. And on that bombshell, let's go back live. Wow, what a dramatic end that was, crikey. Well, thank you very much for those folks, and stay tuned next week if you've got an outstanding request from today, because obviously I will have a lot to do, and a lot of them will have tankers in, which I'm looking forward to as well. I do like a tanker or two. Anyway, let's have one last round of trains to run then, and I've also got one from David Mattox. Thank you very much, David. Instead of the horrid birthday song, oh, is it your birthday? I don't know if we can allow. I don't think we can allow someone to have a birthday if they send a super chat and don't have the birthday song. So I've got a counter proposal. I will run the Hornby T9, pulling 4 six-wheeled Genesis coaches of my choice. But since you've mentioned the birthday song, I think I will have to play it for you. It's Chloe's favourite. She loves it. So she's going to be joining in. So we'll do that. I'll just read out Hypercats and then we'll get on to that. So Hypercat72, thank you very much. I would like to see Old Copper Knob on a flatbed. That's a good idea. Frightened of that though. I don't know if it'll be on a flatbed. A Ruston Diesel on a flatbed, 4 open top plank wagons and a brake van to be pushed by the daylight. I ain't doing that with Copper Knob. No, that loco took too long to make, but I'll do my best to get as close to your wish as possible. But for now, let's make everybody's ears bleed with this monstrous video clip. The first request comes...
Happy train birthday to you. Happy train birthday to you. Happy train birthday, happy train birthday. Happy train birthday to you.
So there we go. Happy birthday to David Mattox. He's not actually said it was his birthday, actually. That would be funny if it actually wasn't. But still, where would we be without the lovely, wonderful birthday song? Right, let's do one last round of requests then. We've got an interesting one on the outside line. No, yeah, the outside line. And I don't know if this came in before or after I announced the tankers, but Beaglington on Sea wanted the Murphy 121 with some yellow rolling stock. And that has to involve tankers. I mean, how many other yellow wagons are there, really? So we have got some yellow tankers on there. So Beaglington, you're in for a chance. With a Warwell and a tank on it. So we've got a classic Warwell there. And an A4 in blue at the back. And then on the middle line, we have Kelly Ashford's request. Thank you so much, as always, for your support, Kelly. You wanted to see Torquay Manor with City of Truro with some coaches, so we've got that going on. And another Great Western themed request is on the inside line, and this one comes from William Town, who wanted to see the 14XX with some Genesis Great Western coaches. So I've set that up. Not a massively strong hauler, the 14XX, so it's just got 3 Genesis coaches, and I'm pretty sure it should be able to handle those, but I've been proved wrong before, so let's just try. See how these two get on. Oh, not good. I think we might do that the other way, because the A4 is faster than the 121, and I think it's going to push it off the track if we go the other way. So let's do it that way, see how we get on, and everything else can go the right way. Right, let's see how this goes. And then I'll do some thank yous, because there's a lot of people who have donated today. Thank you all so much. They're very, very generous. And they're still coming. Vlad Capetti, thank you very, very much. Could you run the EFE 02 and the BT Well tank with a Southern freight train? That is awesome. Yeah, I will totally do that. Thank you very much, Vlad. Well, I hope you're all well. What time is it over here? Says JW Studios. It is about 10 to 3 in the afternoon over here. What about you? Kelly Ashford's Trains is a Great Western girl, apparently. Oh dear, oh dear. We've got an issue here, folks. Kelly, what's Kelly been up to? Oh my God. City of Truro has decided to make a break for it. That's very strange. Again, I think there is... Oh, hello. I think there's a mismatch in the speed between the 14XX and the... No, not the 14XX. The Manor and City of Truro. The Dapple Manor is quite slow. City of Truro is really quite fast. In fact, I can probably demonstrate it if I just give these some power. Look at that. City of Truro is well off out of there. So yeah, that might have been a bit silly there putting... Well, actually, I don't know. You want the faster loco at the front, don't you? I don't know. But yeah, either way, Kelly, a disaster unfolded. And I think Kelly, quite secretly, rather enjoys a disaster. But I don't like that disaster. I've just caught another one there, which is less good, because I'm not sure how I'm going to catch that. What is going on with this 14XX? That loco doesn't derail. The only thing I can think of with that is that the couplings don't match the Genesis coaches, so maybe there's a bit of a compatibility issue there. Oh god, I don't know if I can reach it, folks, I'll be honest. I'll have to pull some of these models out and get it. Blow my neck. Yeah, I should be able to. Let's see. Can I put it back on the track? As long as it doesn't stop behind there, I should be alright. Come on. Put you back on properly in a second. Just get you out of there. Oh, how irritating. That's so annoying. Right, loco's off. I'll just push the coaches. There we go. Right. Something strange going on with that loco, folks. I don't know what. Right. Let's push the Genesis coaches along. Let's try and put it back on. How annoying, honestly. I'm pretty sure it's the loco's fault though, because I've not had issues with these coaches before. Try one more time. Nah, there's something up with that loco. It's jumping as it runs. Traction tyres probably. Yeah, something's up with the tyres, I would suspect. Another reason why traction tyres are a horrid, horrid idea. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got a broken traction tyre there. Oh, that's nasty. Right, so the 14XX is out of action. That's 2 of the 3 trains done for. And actually the most complex one, the one I expected would probably derail, seems to be okay. But give it some time. I'm sure that too can find a way to come off the track and derail in a manner most catastrophic. But we'll see. We'll keep it going because I do need to do some thank yous. So let me just pop my locos back away. I haven't revealed these ones yet. I've not reviewed them. Right. So I owe a thank you to all of today's super chatters. Thank you so much for your support, by the way, folks. It really is much appreciated. And I'm sorry if I missed shouting your names out during today's stream if I did. But if you've made a request, they will be done next week. So we have Robert Sparks. Blimey, I didn't even see that one. Thank you so much, Robert, if you're watching. Thank you for that. We have Jonathan Kent, William Sutar 506, XR 42, Adam Gore, Sideways 66779, Beaglington on Sea, William Town, Kelly Ashford Trains, Alex ML, Jay the Cat, NG5, Landon Spain, Harry Chapman, A2020 Vision, NG5, TMD RNM, NG5 again, William Town, Kelly Ashford Trains, XR 42, Air Knight, NG5, Natalie J Bamforth, Jay the Cat, J&W Studios, Eggy Eats Trains, Jonathan Barnes, Kelly Ashford Trains again, Mitchell Cole, Harold Harrelson, NG5, David Mattox, Hyper Cat 72, and Vlad Capetti. Thank you so much. And I do have to pick my favourite request featuring a tanker, and I think my favourite one has to be Air Knights, who wanted to see the Silver Bullet alongside an Oxford Rail Janus and a brake van. Yeah, because that I think is possibly my favourite tanker in existence. So thank you so much, Air Knight, for your support. If you'd like to claim your 3D printed yellow tanker, just email me your postage address at samstrains@outlook.com. and I'll send that out to you this week. Right, so I think that pretty much brings us up to the end of the stream. Thank you all so much for your support. I'll give you a little bit of a heads up about next week's videos, but they might be subject to change. On Wednesday, I'm hoping to have an unboxing of a brand new train pack ready to go. See if you can guess what that's going to be. No spoilers right now. And then at the weekend, on Saturday, I'm going to be showing a newly released 00 scale wagon. And it's quite an impressive one as well, so I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. For now though, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the live stream. As always, bless you all for your support, and even if you didn't want to send a super chat, absolutely fine. The fact that you were here just to support the stream and enjoy yourself and pop into the chat means everything as well. So thank you for the support, however you choose to support the channel. And I'll see you this time next week, so that's 2 PM on Sunday, UK time, Greenwich Mean Time. And yeah, have a fantastic week, and I will see you very, very soon. All right, cheers folks, take care. Hey folks, thank you all very, very much for tuning in for another episode of Sam's Trains Live. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back with another episode very, very soon, but in the meantime, please enjoy the videos that I'll be posting on my channel till then, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks again for your support, folks, and take care of yourselves.